Did you know Breakout Racing League has brand new merch, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we got the tees, we got the hoodies, we got the phone cases, we got that sexy mug there. Oh, that mug looks very good. We got the leggings, we got absolutely everything your heart desires for Breakout Racing League's new merch. And don't forget, if you want to purchase Breakout Racing League merch, fan 10 to get 10% off your purchase as we now head to the track. Well, we welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to Breakout Racing League. We're here for the Belgian Grand Prix. It is Spa-Francorchamps, and we're here for Tier 1. It is the Breakout Racing League. Getting ready for a race that will be absolute chaos, possible weather, who knows. We're here, of course, for Season 8. It's round number 7 of the championship here at Spa, a famous circuit, and we'll take a look at the track map right now. It is 19 turns. You know the corners. It is an absolute famous circuit. DRS zone, well, we know which one will be very important here tonight. We'll talk about that a little bit later on with Kantra. A circuit which will be absolutely wild here tonight. It's the C4, the C3, the C2. The medium tyre, probably the better tyre, race tyre, possibly. We'll have to wait and see how it all pans out. But yeah, soft, medium, hard. Will we see the hard? We'll have to wait and see here tonight. Championship points, it's Chandler on top by 14 over Skipper. Sanchez in third, Kevin fourth, and Hoop looking to still possibly get a top 3 in the championship. We'll have to wait and see if he can do that, as we'll take a look at the constructor standings once they come up on screen. Oh my god, I've just used them for a long time. Perrondi in P7, by the way. Mercedes, 9-point lead over Haas. Alfa Romeo, they're still up there in P3. And that is the constructor standings as they stand right now. So, we're here and we're getting ready. It is a almost full grid, 19 drivers getting ready for what I'm sure will be a fascinating Grand Prix here tonight. Of course, here with the one and only Katra, Spa. Always an interesting one here tonight that could deliver some interesting results.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to be something that's going to be interesting, especially with the DRS through down the Camel straight into Les Sources, or I'm sorry, into Le Combe, or the DRS straight down into Les Sources into turn 1. But really, what's going to be the major point of this race, especially the DRS train, which it's nothing new, not a surprise for Tier 1 racing, but especially this middle sector. I mean, that's going to be the main point, because a lot of these guys have probably tinkered their setup so that, there's more straight line speed for the first and middle sectors. Not really going to be as important, that middle sector, but the third sector and the first sector, both going to be the most important too. Well, if you have a straight line setup, more dependent on that, well, the middle sector, what do you do there? Because it's an interesting setup, like, kind of classification for this track, seriously, though, where it's like, you want the most out of the car. You want the straights, because obviously that's where you get a lot of time. With the DRS, that's going to be where you want. But the middle sector, you need a lot of downforce for that, and if you don't have it, which one of these guys may not, it's going to be a struggle. But that's really going to be the main talking point, is who has more downforce, who has the more straight line speed. Everyone is most likely going to have DRS at some point, though.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to have DRS. DRS is going to be your key here tonight to results, and we've seen that throughout the race weekends already, how the race can all pan out and how important that DRS really is. And we're going to see that here tonight, no doubt about it. No birdies have told us anything at the moment, so it could surprisingly be a dry race, maybe, I don't know, which would be a surprise, especially here for Spa. Usually we see a bit of a wet one, but on board here with Ferreira in the Ferrari, of course, and he is going to be one of the first ones on the soft tyres. A few cars out there on the mediums at the moment as well. Crispy, who's invalidated his lap time so far. While we wait for drivers in here at the moment, we can, I'm just going to reminisce right now and say that we all know the chaos that Spa can bring. And if you all remember Tier 3 last season, anything can happen.
I won that
for the last 22 laps. That. And I came third somehow that race.
Yeah, it was a great podium.
That was one of the weirdest races of all time. It shows you, especially here, if you're down and out at about 19th place, you could still come back and get on the podium.
Yeah.
We saw that a bit yesterday in Tier 3 as well. A bit of that as well.
Honestly, I wouldn't even count on 19th on lap 22. Like you just said, the penalties could very well be an issue.
Oh, they will be. Oh, they will be. It's Fronut's going to be the first one across the line. It's a 43.295.
So I think provisional poll, what I've seen through the week from Chandler, is he's obviously going to be one of the favorites. I mean, I would be stupid to not say that, the championship leader. But I think he's going to go, well, even lower than that, a 41-4. I think maybe a 41-1. And if we're daring enough, do we see the 40s?
Well, one thing we should talk about right now is that it's going to be a wet race. Halfway through, 30 minutes in. I hope Axe is telling me the truth there. I believe Axe. Axe wouldn't tell me lies. 30 minutes in, weather, as expected. I think that's happened in the last two Tier 1 Belgian Grand Prix, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, it's basically the last few minutes. It's just chaos. Jack rejoins his first hoop out there on a lap. And yeah, 41.470 Chandler at the moment. Not a bad time to start things off for him here at the moment. Let's go to hoop and see what goes out. He's actually validated. Never mind. Maybe we'll come towards the end of his lap.
Honestly, what I've noticed, though, is, I mean, we kind of talked about it a week ago at Silverstone, how, like, the patterns with some of these, the weather for the last couple of seasons in Tier 1, obviously it was wet, the last two at Britain. It was kind of a dry to wet, the last two here at Belgium. But what I have noticed is that obviously sometimes it could be a lot more smoother than other times. For example, about 2 seasons ago, if you could recall all the way back to there, Mitch, you probably do with your, good old buddy there, it was quite the interesting race of the second half, but the first half was relatively, boring, so to speak. A lot of DRS trains, not much actually happening. And then, a safety car from a special Ferrari driver that bended in the top of Radeon because I have no idea how to drive, caused the safety car that flipped everything upside down. So, I mean, it could happen again, or we could have a straight-up chaotic race like we did a season ago.
I actually think I commentated that with Titan, but anyway. P4 as, I think it was because I remember yelling at Hoop and Perondi battle and out up Rouge in the Rating. I remember that one. Especially in wet conditions, which in the wet can be absolutely wild. And Roscoe giving us the scoops like I used to always give Roscoe scoops back in the day. Yep, 30 minutes in, rain. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. What are they going to do? Are we going to see? Oh, as Kevin goes for a big spin, and he holds on to it. That's going to be an interesting one to see what everyone does here. You could see if you guys wanted some of the mediums. Are we going to see guys that are just going to go as long as they can on the soft tyres and wait for that weather? But again, you don't know with this game. You don't know when the weather can come exactly. It could come on lap 5. It could not come until lap 15 as Perondi invalidates his first time.
Yeah, one thing I know they are going to do, a majority of the grid, maybe not everyone, because you may have some, that few outliers, maybe Roscoe, I don't know. But you may have some other guys trying to go for a little bit of an alternative strategy to this. Not necessarily tires, but setup. Because you would think, okay, well, it's going to rain halfway through, because about 15 minutes left is roughly when the rain's going to come in. So many would try kind of choose that dry setup. I know Chandler's gone that way. I know Bailey probably went that way. Hoop most likely went that way. Perondi as well. But who chooses the wet setup? Because if it does come, and it does get wet enough for an inner or a full wet, you never know, who will be the driver that has the most acclimation for that conditions? Well, at the expense of dries.
That's a big question. That's a big $1 million question to see. Very possible, but that's the unknown. That's the unknown of a wet race like this, especially at a track like this. I want to point out here, we're 9 minutes in, and we only have 5 drivers that have completed a lap time. Well, probably 4 that have completed a legitimate lap time, since Entrance's time is 18 seconds off the pace. So, a few drivers struggling. A few drivers may be contemplating what strategy they want to do here tonight. To start this race, as Crispy starts off a lap in the Alpine. Everyone just thinking, well, what should I do here? It's an interesting one, and of course, invalidated lap times, as we said, time penalties always can be a factor, especially coming up here. Always can be a factor, because you take it a little bit to the left right there. Well, that's an easier warning for you right there, no doubt about it.
What I have noticed is, by the way, Sanchez's lap kind of looks like he's gone out on the wet, so, he's obviously going to try to go and give it that one.
Well, maybe he'll give it
I don't think he has, but it kind of looks that way.
Maybe he'll give it as
Maybe.
Maybe he'll give it as a hint.
But what I have noticed is I kind of scrolled through just for a few seconds and I already saw 3 people have issues. Raptor went off. This is now the second time. I think this time he went out of the way for the Haas, and I believe that being Skither. But the first, I saw Jack backwards through Puon. So that's going to be a major indication of who tries to push that hard to get that little extra tenth for this qualifying lap, because it could very well be that position in the race, because the DRS train is going to be difficult to obviously pass. That's how that works everywhere, but more specifically here. But who tries to get that little bit more out of the car and takes a little bit too much risk? It hits that curb and Puon or Blanchimon or maybe even Lecombe and spinning the car around.
I think the difference is around here is that when they come out of rally on, I think it's the chances of the car ahead to make a mistake is where you get the opportunity, and it's one of the number one circuits, I think, where the mistake of a driver who maybe took a little bit too slow, like I would always do, is now Crispy goes P2, going up the hill. Yeah, take it a little bit too slow, and then you get the other advantage with DRS. That's the thing about this circuit. You get that run on the car ahead. I think it's one of the easiest circuits to get that done. Whereas like a Silverstone, as we saw last week, it was very hard for everyone to do. Even though we saw quite a few passes last week with the Mercedes drivers as well. Alphanese is out there in the Ferrari, and he is down to P13, but he invalidates his lap time, so the invalidations are just coming in thick and fast here at the moment. Hoops out there on the medium tyres at the moment as well. We got Skipper out there on the mediums as well, so a few drivers going for a different route here at the moment. Chandler has invalidated his lap time, but just don't need to worry about that at the moment since he's on pole by almost over a second.
Yeah, so everyone who's done a lap already is on the softs, except for Bailey and Six, who's now gone on the mediums. But everyone who hasn't done a lap is majority leaning towards the C3, the medium. So with the amount of time left, what I have learned, unfortunately, from Realistic is you need to go out a little bit earlier if you want a second flyer run. So unless you are maybe on that end lap now, you are not getting a second run in. So the time, if you're not crossed the line on maybe the Camel Straight like where Bailey is, there is no chance for a second run unless you have a little bit of a cheeky corner cut somewhere, that's somehow off the prying eyes of our stream. But even then, you'd be at risk for a super license point. So, yikes.
It happens. You always got to keep one eye on it. I did that once, but that was the first time I've ever seen in the league and didn't realise you'd get pinged for it. So there we go. We've got Kevin coming up to the end of his time here at the moment. Skipper only a P8 here at the moment. The best time on the medium so far is actually Bailey in P6. Here comes Kevin to the line, and Kevin, he'll go up ahead of the Haas driver. So these medium runners started to get their lap times in. Alphanesis is back out there, but he's a little bit down on fuel. I don't know if this will be a time or not, and well, especially with that one, but it's actually not a bad middle sector. We'll keep an eye on Alphanesis here if he does end this lap or not, or come into the pit lane. Alphanesis down P15 here at the moment. It is Chandler on top over Aiden here at the moment. Crispy, Sanchez and Ferrari, that's your top 5. There's still some drivers yet to complete lap times right now, but here comes, Alphanesis comes in as I expected. He's got 4 minutes to go to get another lap time in. Here's Axe in the AlphaTauri. Let's see if Alex finishes this lap off. Comes to the line now, and Axe, he'll go into P3. Not a bad lap time by Axe there in the AlphaTauri. So things stay steady here at the moment. Hoops out there on the medium tyres at the moment. A lap as well in the Red Bull.
Yeah, so he will not get another lap in unless he has fueled, and that would be crucial because he just invalidated.
Wow.
Yes.
I have not seen that many invalidations for a while. There's been a lot here tonight so far. Drivers being called out, and it's hurting them here at the moment. He's busy. He's out there on the medium tyres. So a few drivers opting for those mediums, especially with that weather. 30 minutes in. As we said before, the weather, it's an unknown. You know this game, it can come either way. So Chandler is still on top, 41.470. I don't see someone challenging as Kevin goes to P8, and that might be him done for this session. As we'll keep an eye on Jackie. He's out in P11 here right now. But yeah, I don't think Chandler could be toppled here right now. It's going to be tough unless someone could spring a surprise and get a good lap on those soft tyres. As Jack's absolutely going for it here.
There's another 40 seconds until that pit lane kind of seems too long to do another flyer, because you need to leave the pit lane in around maybe 2 minutes, maybe 2:10, that range to get out. You see a lot of guys after Hoop now. That McLaren, I believe that being Bailey, and I believe I saw another car behind him. So now's the time.
Well, if it was ACC, it'd be 2-minute pit lane, but shout out to ACC. Here's Jack now. Don't forget, tomorrow we're at Monza tomorrow for ACC. Join us then for that. Sprint races in apparently a monsoon weather. As, oh my goodness me, that Alpine is inches away from Jack there. As Jack crosses the line, he will be P9 in the Mercedes. Oh my goodness me, that was close between him and the Alpine. Axe is done. He's in P3 at the moment. Chandler out there on a lap as well. As excuses scrolling, everybody. Here's Hoop coming up towards the end of his time here right now. We'll keep an eye on Hoop here. Important factor here at the moment. We're going to see what he could do at the moment. Of course, don't forget, Hoop P5 at the championship. A P1 in the titles, probably out of reach, but still a top 3. Still very possible. And we'll keep an eye on this and see what Hoop can do here on these medium tyres.
Well, another bit to kind of look out for, I say battle, it's more so Chandler against himself. What about him in this flying run now? He's now approaching Blanchimont behind the Red Bull. Will he better his Paul?
Yes, Chandler trying to beat himself, but let's see what Hoop can do here at the moment. On those medium tyres, he will cross the line. Is he the best medium runner? He is. He just gets ahead of Bailey. Here comes Chandler. Has he improved? He has 41.3. Oh, and that is a very good time indeed from Mr. Chandler Sater. Let's see who else is out there at the moment. Bailey starts off a lap time as well. Jack, he is done. And we'll try to go through the field. Here comes Raptor now. He's going to cross the line on those medium tyres. Let's see what he can do. He crosses the line and he gets ahead of the lap times that Kevin and Jack all did on those medium tyres. So P9 for Raptor, just ahead of his teammate, only just here at the moment. So lap times coming in thick and fast. Vizzy crosses the line and he only goes P13 on the medium tyres as Skipper's about to start off a lap in the Haas in a matter of moments.
Byrne jumps up, and what I've noticed is a lot of these guys have gone for the mediums. Oh, Roscoe about lost everything there. But Pirani through the first sector. Alphanisa's in the middle sector. That is a lot of debris from someone who just crashed out.
I
believe it's the McLaren. I think Bailey just crashed in the exit of No Name because I just saw a suspension arm fly.
Yeah, Bailey's out. So Bailey P8, but of course will start. So here is, we'll try to go through the field here, see who's about to cross the line next. Excuse me, everybody. Crispy now, next one to cross the line. And Crispy goes up in a second. Crispy up in a second place for him. Hoop, he is done and dusted. Let's go back down through the field. Here comes Alphanesis. Alphanesis in P17. Looking to get a lap time in here on these soft tyres. Yes, I know, Ryan. Keep me updated. As Alphanesis crosses the line, Alphanesis goes up in a P3. So Alphanesis gets the job done there here at the moment. As Perondi, he only goes P14. But of course, those medium runners completely on a different 180 here at the moment. As we'll see who's going to be one of the next ones across the line here. Here comes Ferronut to the line. Ferronut goes up in a P6. He goes up in the 6th place here at the moment. As Hoop, he's happy with his P8 here at the moment. Aiden, I don't think it's going to be improvement for him. He's going to be P4 at the moment. Here comes Roscoe in the McLaren. Roscoe are now to the line. and he will stay down in P18. Well, he does move on the spot, but P18. What about Skipper, the man who's battling Chandler in the championship? He may slow down here. Yeah, he's going to be happy with the P17, but on the medium tyres. Moo Moo, he is done, and I think that almost does it, but here comes Sanchez. He's the next one. Could he improve? He does improve on time, but he does improve on position. So it's Chandler on pole. Gets it done impressively.
Yeah, well over 8/10, and that's going to be something that, well, he's going to be really elated about, because that's another pole position for him. And, well, that's another one in the bag. Can he grab a pole to victory? We'll find out that shortly. But for now, a lot of mediums on. Hoop's going to be starting on the medium. Bailey, Fern on the medium. Only 3 in the top 10. The rest will be on softs. Everyone else, free tire choice. When will the rain come?
And for those who want it, yeah, the rain is the factor late in the race. That's why you see a bunch of these guys on the mediums. But will that help them out? We'll have to wait and see how that plays out towards this race. So Chandler, pole position. Crispy will be started alongside him with Alphanesis, Aiden, and Axe in the top 5. Another great qualifier for Axe in the top 5. But there we go. Chandler on top. Gets it done by 0.772. And it's Alphanesis, Aiden, Axe, Ferona in 6, Sanchez, Hoop, the first of the medium runners, Bailey, and a third. So a lot of medium runners in the field. They're focusing on that weather, and when will it come is going to be the story. And who will it advantage, and who will it disadvantage? We'll have to wait and see, as we're moments away from a start here in this race. But wow, Chandler, too good at the moment. But as we said, it's going to be the story of the weather. How is this start going to play out? Who knows? Who knows? Don't forget, of course, tomorrow morning. Oh my god, I forgot I'm on American Street. Tomorrow is ACC. We're at Monza. It's going to be an absolute monsoon weather at Monza, so join us then for that. It's going to be a bit of a wild one, no doubt about it. Close fight in the championship as well in ACC as well. Authorised by BRL Skippy. Right. It's dry as a bone, obviously, but what I meant to say, it's clear skies. Complete clear skies. It's blue skies at the moment. So, the weather, it's not close away. That makes things interesting.
Which is quite ironic, because a lot of guys are actually starting to base their strategy over it coming earlier. Because I looked in the chat a little bit, and I see Crispy Bailey maybe kind of more focused on what if it comes 10 minutes rather than 30, which they said it may very well happen. So if it does, they could possibly be on that. Crispy obviously starting on the soft, so he could have a little bit of benefit from that if it gets wet enough to go to the intermediates. Because if it does, he does not have to use 2 of the 3 compounds. He could just bolt on a set of inners, go to the rest of the race. If it stays to that condition, which it doesn't matter if it does or not, he can go back on the softs if it goes and does dry up, because it had a little bit of wet weather. But I'm going to stop rambling now. Regardless, if it gets wet enough, the guys on the softs want it to happen earlier. If it gets wet later on in the race, about 30 minutes on, like it's so far forecasted to, that's going to benefit the guys on the medium. So watch the guys like at Hoopalicious or Bailey or Fern in the top 10, all 3 starting on the mediums. But Raptor, well, nothing new for him, starting at 11th on the medium with his teammate alongside him.
Now, I just want to point out here that if anyone that tuned in, and hello Solo in the chat, anyone that tuned in for T3 yesterday, the clouds came over and the rain came like 2 minutes later. So, just so you know, when the clouds come, look out for if that rain does start to torrential down. And we did see on Roscoe's screenshot that he sent us, it looks like it's not going to be a light sprinkle that's going to be coming through. So, when it looks like when it's going to rain, it's going to rain. So, look out for that, and especially a long track like this. You know, if it's a track like Austria, you're not going to factor in, next lap it could be wet as on track. Here, it could change in literally half a lap, the track. That's the thing. So we'll see how that all pans out in this race. But Cadra, I forgot to ask, who do you think's going to win this race?
Well, this is a tough choice because I have one or two answers that are pretty obvious. You pretty much can guess the first one, so I'm going to go to the second one, which you probably could also guess that one too. It really depends on when the rain comes. If it's earlier, I want to focus more on a soft runner. And who better than Chandler? Well, that's a no doubt there. But if it goes later on, like it's suggested or forecasted, look at the first one on medium. I rest my case.
So he predicts Hoop to win this race. There we go.
Absolutely. There you go.
22 laps, and well, you know what? I'll just go Chandler to get the win then. Chandler to win the race. But we'll see how things go for this race. Well, to be fair, as we see here, folks, Chandler, every race he's competed in, he has won. So we'll see how that all pans out, if he can continue that streak here tonight or not. It's going to be a factor to look out for, no doubt about it, in the championship. Skiffer P2, Skiffer down in 17th at the moment. Who knows if that's going to be a problem for him? We'll have to wait and see. But it's Chandler, it's Crispy, it's Alphanesis, it's Aiden, and it's Axe in the top 5. That's better going away for 22 laps here at Spa for the Belgian Grand Prix. Waiting for Exero to line up in the final position in P19 for 22 laps here at Spa. We're about to get underway here in Tier 1, the 7th round. We're halfway through, can you believe it? As the championship is winding down, it's Chandler versus Crispy, as we will go racing right now. And it's a good start for Chandler. He gets the jump over Crispy. Crispy's going to try to get him around the outside if he possibly can. The Ferrari tries to get this move back on Crispy, and he's actually got it done, but they're going to go side by side, and Crispy will hold on at the moment. Looks like it's pretty steady behind at the moment. No drama here throughout the field as we watch possibly Third trying to look for the move here on Kevin for P12 here right now, but let's go back up through the field for the front of the lead. Here comes Alphanesis on Crispy. Nowhere to go for Crispy at the moment to get past Chandler, but it's at the moment Chandler on top and Crispy P2. Oh. Alphanesis is Crispy side moment for him, and behind there's drama with Fern.
Yeah, Fern went around the outside trying to go for the move on Kevin de Lecombe, and it did not really work out for him.
It's still on Crispy, and it looks like that is a... No, that's Fern around again. So few dramas going on behind here at the moment. It's now Aiden now trying to see if he can be a factor in this race with Alphanesis in P3. He's trying to move here at the moment. We've got Ferrona down in P5. In P5 at the moment, as Fern retires on track. And boy, oh boy, if that brings out something, that would be interesting. As Chandler, 1.2, building that gap here right now. That's what he wants to do in this race here at the moment. No virtual safety cars, so luckily the game was being very nice there.
Yeah, Chandler's going to absolutely adore the fact that there was no VSC or full safety car for that matter, because 1.285 is the gap, and that is out of DRS range. Oh, there's a check up at the back, a little bit of damage, I believe, for someone. Oh, Parandi almost lost it, but a lot of jockeying for position. Yeah, but one thing I have noticed, Brynut on Aiden now. It's happening everywhere.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've noticed about this game. People retiring on track, I've noticed it hasn't really brought out the safety car this game. I could be wrong. Someone could give me evidence of me being wrong there, but either way, let's keep an eye on things here at the moment. We've got Hoop, who's look at this battle. Axe, Aiden, everyone absolutely going for it here at the moment. As Axe now goes for the move here on Aiden, gets it done. Axe back up into the top 5 here at the moment. But look at this battle pack here at the moment. We got Sanchez, we got Hoop. Aiden still trying to see if he can get this move back on. Oh, as Hoop gets close to the back of Hoop. As also Sanchez gets close to the back of Hoop as well. We got Jack and Bailey sitting behind, waiting to pounce on these guys. As Crispy, first penalty of the night. Well, actually, Wexler had a penalty as well.
Yeah, that happened not too apart from each other. As Jack
and
could be going.
That was Bailey, very smart with that one. That could have ended in tears. But yeah, Jack holds on to the position. But boy, that could have been ended badly between those two going side by side through there. But steady as she goes to the moment. The next story of the moment is looking really this battle with Sanchez here at the moment. So 1.5 for Chandler, and Crispy has 1.1 over Alphanesis here at the moment. So the top two have cleared away, and the Ferraris may have a bit of a battle for third and fourth.
Speaking of a battle, Raptors looking on Vizzy. Can't get it that time, but almost in the back of Raptors teammate Kevin. But the fast starting Jack and the fast starting Haas is up a couple of positions as DRS is crucially now enabled.
Here comes Skipper. Skipper's down in P15 at the moment. Oh, got very close to the back of Raptor, and I think Wexler almost got to the back, close to the back of him as well. The two Haas teammates very close with each other indeed. So DRS is here, and the train begins as the Ferraris definitely change position. Ferrari Nut goes up in a P3 here at the moment. Good job by Ferrari Nut as we watch Skipper now looking. Does he look for it? No, he does not. On Raptor here at the moment as Wexero loses a bit of time to his teammate behind. Ada now with a time penalty.
Right now, Ferrari Nut is actually sitting really nicely. If he can try to grab as much out of the tires while saving them as long as he can, because what if it does rain a bit later than expected? He's going to want to have as less number of pit stops as possible. Well, the British Grand Prix winner definitely knows from a season ago as he goes a lot wide, so I guess I'll stop talking and, complimenting him. I'm sorry, we'll go somewhere else. But I was going to say, he knows how to get it down to the wet. Look from a season ago. So if it gets wet, Ferrari Nut could be a good shot, but he has to get wet first.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here when that wet conditions go out. We'll keep an eye on the clouds. Clouds are slowly looming, but they're not a factor here at the moment. We know when it will come. It's when it gets absolutely dark here at Spa. So things steady at the moment throughout the field, but pretty much everyone downwards are all on each other, but it's all really a train through them. At the moment is Sanchez, slight moment there, and Jack is going to be all over him. Chandler gets the fastest lap of the race. That's what Chandler wants to do. As now, here's a factor here. Here's a question. I just wonder if Chandler's going to... I just wonder if he does pit. I just wonder if he will go on the soft tyres. That's going to be another story to see what those guys do. If the rain does not come for a while, we could see these guys go the soft, possibly. But it depends when this rain comes, as Alphanesis gets to move back on the Ferrari. So the Ferraris doing what the Mercedes did last week, just chop and change positions every lap.
They're trying to use everything they can to get to Crispy so they can get in that DRS range. Because, I mean, that DRS is so powerful here. So if they can get in, they're not too far away. Just using the slipstream off of each other, they can try to get there and pull this train along. But the question that is really, is it going to rain enough? So the rain may come, but we saw it a little bit throughout the season. Is the rain can sometimes come, but it's not going to rain hard enough to get off of the slicks. So if they do a soft, as Hoop and Aiden kind of go at it down in the Fania chicane, it's going to really be if it gets hard enough to go to inners, because that soft only can work if it does rain hard enough. If it doesn't, you have to pit a third time onto a harder compounded tire with a damper track.
Yeah, that's right. It's... who knows?
Oh, look at this.
Look at this, how Axe and Ferrari Nut go at it side by side. And Axe gets through in a very good move from Axe there. Gets the job done as Axiom moves himself up at a P4 in this race. Ferrari Nut will try to see if he can possibly sneakily get him back a little bit later on. So we'll have to wait and see how that all pans out. 2.5 for Chandler here at the moment in the lead. Hoop is now coming up to the back of this pack of outside the top 5. As we got the two soft runners behind him, Sanchez and Aiden. Sanchez now, of course, getting a time penalty. Sanchez looks like he's got the run. Let's see if Sanchez can get the move done. And yeah, he's got the run beautifully. Sanchez looks for the move for P7 in this Grand Prix, and he gets it done. Sanchez goes up into 7th in the Aston Martin. It's down behind, excuse me, rolling. Skipper goes up into P14. He gets ahead of Raptor finally. Oh, meanwhile,
Kevin and Peroni now going at it.
Peroni loses
having some fun. Busy fast starting. Jack fast starting.
That's that. Okay, that's why. Okay. All right. I was very scared there. I thought Peroni was going for a move on Vizzy and there was going to be contact, but he left anyway. All right. Let's go down the field here at the moment. And yeah, Raptor down, Peroni down in P15. That's not what Peroni will want here at the moment. Bailey still sitting behind a few of these guys behind. He's got Aiden up ahead and got Jack as well. Jack slowly moving his way up. Oh, there's Sanchez gone! Sanchez out of the Grand Prix. There was light touch. That's a safety car. Well, that's going to throw things crazy here at the moment on lap 5 of this Grand Prix with the weather. It'll be interesting what Jeff, well, of course, it's going to be what Jeff has to say to them, which will be a factor for them. Mumu with a 5-second penalty. Soft runners in. Will the medium runners come in? No. Hoop stays out. Jack stays out. So it looks like the medium runners are going to stay out here, as I suspect. No, Chandler goes in on the medium tyres. So, well, this race is getting hot here at the moment as Chandler medium tyres go on. The rest of them on softs, except for Axe and Ferrona, who go on the medium tyres as well. The others have gone on the soft tyres. They're doing the soft.
So, with that move, by the way, that Alphanesis got past Ferrona a couple laps ago, and even Axe on Ferrona, that is so crucial, because look where Ferrona is compared to Alphanesis. Now, obviously, he didn't lose much time, but he did get held a bit in the pits. But it's a no-brainer. For guys like Chandler, it's not a guarantee if this rain is going to come down hard enough. So getting a medium out, Chandler, Ferrona, and Axe, as well as Moo, have all satisfied these 2 out of the 3 compound rule. They've done the C4 and the C3, so they can theoretically go to the end right now. The mediums can make it. Even if it starts raining, they can go to the end if it stays dry enough. But for guys like Crispy, Alphanesis, Aiden, and Roscoe, they went soft to soft, like you just said. It has to get harder. The rain has to come down so that the enders can come on for those guys. For guys like Chandler, Axe, Ferrona, and Mumu, they could be fine either way. Because if they can try to get a little bit of positions right now, Chandler with the fresher mediums compared to Perani, who's not in the session, Wexro, and everyone in the top 8, maybe that'll work out a little bit better if it does get wet enough. But if it stays dry, Chandler is at a disadvantage because obviously he started on the softs and the mediums can just stay on until it gets dry or starts rain coming down. But remember, they have to still pit as well. So if it doesn't get wet enough, DRS doesn't get disabled, they have to pit. Chandler's net P1. So it's a double-edged sword, and you have to take the highest probability risks that even if it does not get dry enough, might as well just kind of cut your losses.
It's going to be an interesting story. That is, as Peroni comes into the lane. Peroni's back into the lobby. I don't know what I'm saying there. Yeah, Peroni back into the lobby, so that'll be good for him. He'll be happy that the safety car made its way out. The clouds have loomed, but the game has told these guys that the clouds were going to loom, so it's going to be really when the dark clouds really loom when this weather comes. And the story is, of course, I just looked a bit on Roscoe's screen once again, who's given us a screenshot of the weather. It's only light rain that is being shown to them for the weather as well. So if it was heavy, it would be a very different story as Raptor and Mumu come into the lane. If it was heavy, different story. But as you said, it's going to be, when will the rain really get heavy enough for inters? It's going to be the story, as I can tell you this right now, the clouds are starting to loom here at Spa-Francorchamps right now.
Yeah, it's gotten a bit cloudy. You can already see it so far. And if what we have heard is correct, about 15 minutes from the end of the Grand Prix, about 30 minutes into the race, I should rather say, is when the rain is forecasted to come down. So if that happens, because obviously the safety car is going to prolong the length of this race, maybe the rain can come down faster. And right now, if you're in the top 9, well, maybe top 8, because Chandler, remember, he had to pit, and he did. They want it to start raining now. Because if it can start raining now, and it's hard enough for intermediates can come on, look at the positions they just got. Like, Hoop went up 6-7 positions. Jack went up a ton of positions from where he started. He has had a lightning start, and if it could start raining now, it would be absolutely perfect for his race. But for everyone who has pitted, they don't want it to. But it's really going to be, right now, in the arms of the gods now.
And, yeah, starts in the chat. Yeah, Alpha and Crispy, look out for them on the restart. Absolutely, they're on fresh set of soft tyres. Yeah, they're gonna be trying to attack Chandler, and Chandler's gonna be trying to make sure they don't go by. It's gonna be an interesting one, how this pans out. The clouds have loomed. That was on the forecast that the clouds were going to loom over like this at first before the rain came. So we're all going to be looking on the onboards, waiting for that drizzle to start. It's going to be an interesting one. And that's what they're all going to be looking for here at the moment, relying when does Jeff want to tell them this rain is coming. Who knows? Jeff could be telling them right now the rain's not on the way. You don't know. You don't know with Jeff. Rest in peace, Jeff, by the way, for next game. But we're about to get underway. Lap 7 of 22. We'll be going on lap 8. It is Hoop on top, and that's where we want to be. This big story will be interesting to see how it goes down here in this mid-pack with Chandler and Crispy. But we'll keep an eye on our race leader, who's Hoop. And he'll get off to a good start, trying to get away from VSR Jack behind. Good start from Hoop on the restart here on lap 8 of 22. He gets away very, very nicely. Indeed, he does at the moment. Let's go back down from this field now with Crispy. He's going to be absolutely trying to attack Chandler, as best as he possibly can.
Yeah, right now for Crispy and Alphanese, especially with this soft compound strategy, they need to get through on as many medium runners. Oh, Chandler, big moment at the top of Radion. That's going to stint his run down the straightaway. That's
the moment Crispy wants to look for. But he would have loved a bit of DRS on his belt at the moment. But the advantage he's got is because there's, Crispy absolutely going for it here at the moment. Chandler will be wanting to try to bridge cars between him and those soft runners behind, because those soft runners will be wanting to make up some time here at the moment. The front pack, it's pretty gap at the moment throughout the field. This is the mid pack, this is the battle that we're looking out for here at the moment. Alphanese is trying to get it back up to this fight as well. So it's Chandler and Perondi with each other right now. Crispy trying to see if he can be a factor in this race. But Hoop has a very comfortable lead at the moment. That's Wexero, that's contact. There's contact. I don't know who made contact with him there. I don't know if you saw or not. I couldn't tell. I swear someone made contact there. I don't know who it was. It might have been Perondi. Trying to get a good shot here. And I don't know, but I swear there was a car that made contact with Wexero there coming through, unless they just ghosted. As the rain's here. Chandler looks for the move here on Perondi. Crispy looking for the move, and you saw it on your screen. The rain has arrived. And oh dear. Well, that's not what Crispy wanted, is it? As Alphanese has now missed himself up into position. Chandler's got the move done on Perondi. So, wow, things are happening here at the moment. And Hoop is just licking his lips right now, seeing that weather.
Yeah, he wants it to come down a lot harder right now, because if it can come down harder, like I've been saying the entire time, he could just skip the softs, just go in right now.
Aiden's in on the inters. That's a bold move. Oh, jeez. Aiden on those intermediate tyres, he is ready to go, but boy oh boy, it might be a little bit too early, Aiden, but he's hoping that the game somehow an absolute pause down in the next lap. He must have watched last night with Tier 3. Alphanesis is through on Perondi. He gets the move done on those soft tyres. So Alphanesis goes up into 8th place here at the moment. Chandler now's closing in on his championship rival for 6th place here in this race, and it's absolutely, it's not teaming down at the moment, it's only light, so we'll keep an eye on that, see when this weather really ramps up.
Well, it may only be light, but I can tell you for a fact these curves are starting to get slick. Chandler's actually starting to avoid them, especially through the Fenya chicane. And right here in the exit of Stavilo 2, you may want to kind of start avoiding those curves as well. But by the way, a little tinge of what's happening here between Chandler and Skither, by the way. Remember the last time those two met each other on track a week ago? What happened there?
Yeah, that's right. It was absolute chaos. And could it go down here again? DRS enabled. And we keep an eye on this at the moment. Alphanesis with the fast lap of the race. Roscoe Arm with a Mr. VSR. Roscoe Arm as he goes for the move here on Axe. Oh, and he's almost... I think he almost hit the back of Peroni. As Axe is going to try and see if he can find back. No, he can't. So Mr. VSR goes up into P10 here at the moment. Let's go back for the field here right now. It is still dry here at the moment. The rain isn't teeming down, but it is coming down here at the moment on lap 10 of 22. So it's going to be the story of when... Oh, and Jack now is starting to get close here to Hoop. Bailey's at the back of this pack as well. So there's a bit of a fight going on here for the lead between Jack and Hoop.
Yeah, right now, obviously, Jack will love to get through on Hoop right now. Because obviously the battery, you can see the difference between the two. The Red Bull, oh, almost lost the car. Speaking of the Red Bull, Hoop is already trying to get as far away as Jack as he can. But the curbs and the weather is not really abiding by that wish so much. But Jack would love to get through right now. Because if he comes in the pit lane and it starts running hard enough and he can jump Hoopalicious even by maybe a couple of tenths. On a wet track, dry tires, you never know what could happen. But right now, it's starting to get slick. How much longer?
How much longer is indeed the question that everyone's keeping an eye on here at the moment. So, Alphanesis is closing up the back here on Chandler as well. On those soft tyres, it is starting to get a bit more here at the moment in this race. We're watching Skiffer, who's actually closing in on Vizzy here. Does Skiffer look for a move? No, he does not. This front pack is really starting to ramp up, as meanwhile behind we got Axe, Moo going out of here for position for P11. We've got Roscoe who's trying to get past Perondi in this fight, as Raptor, he's coming in going for the early intermediate round, as Chandler and Skiffer.
It's happened again.
What's happened?
It's happened again.
Oh, no, it's free wide.
No.
Hold your breath for a second. And if, now Phoenicis holds on. How one of them are not gone at the moment. It's unbelievable. Wow.
Wow, indeed.
It's not over. It's not over.
Go.
Skiffer looks for the move
No,
on
it's not.
Chandler. Looks for around the outside. Chandler, side by side. And Chandler goes to a little bit of a momentum. Phoenicis tries to get up in this as well. Chandler didn't have the best run. Here comes. Oh, they're free one again as they hold back for now. Chandler. Wow, that was a wild moment between those two. Well, those free, and it could have ended badly for all three of them. As though here comes Alphanesis.
And here comes Alphanesis.
Alphanesis.
He's trying for it.
No, not enough.
Whew.
My goodness me.
I think he can't get it now. A little bit too far back.
So what?
But that all started.
Yeah, go on.
Back in the bus stop chicane. Because Chandler tried to go for a move, and he was lucky, by the way, as Raptor's gone around. He went on the inners, and it didn't really work out too well. But he tried to send a move, and he's lucky that the track still had a bit of rubber in it. Barely avoided it, and then he went for the same move back again in Les Sources, and they made contact. Skither went wide, and you saw the rest. But now the rain is coming down enough, and I see a lot of water on the track. As Skither almost understeers right off the track, and he gets a warning from it.
Comes Vizzy, not close to the back of Kevin, but he comes to battle on here for... and Skiffer gets the move done now for Phoenicis. Chandler now is getting close to the back of Vizzy, and they're all having a bit of a slide here at the moment. Meanwhile, with all that happening, we've missed completely. Hooper's down to P3, Jack's up into the lead, and Bailey in P2.
Well, now we're going to have another fight down in the run into Radion. Mumu gets ahead of Alphanesis, but now how will that affect Alphanesis and Mumu down into the Kimmel straight at the top of Radion?
It's on again.
It's going to be
It's on again. Sanchez and Chandler. It's on again. Here comes Skiffer for the move. Chandler, there's a little bit of a touch as the Haas comes through. Unbelievable. As our Alphanesis, Mumu's moving his way up through the field, doing very nicely here at the moment in the Aston Martin. So yeah, apologies that we missed the battle for the lead with whom Jack and Bailey, but there's just so much going on with the championship contenders here at the moment, being Chandler and Skipper, and this battle with Moo coming up into this as well. He's actually liking these conditions, and you're right, as you said before, track's starting to get a bit water on it at the moment.
I honestly think it's borderline.
You know what? If I'm in the top 10, I'd even be looking at Gov Pit right now. I really would, because I tell you what, next lap by, it could be very different as Alphanesis and Moo Roscoe in the top 10. He's in this battle pack as well. This is going to be interesting to see what they all do here. It's going to be very interesting to see what they all do here. Aiden gets a tyre penalty. Crispy's the first on the intermediate tyres down in P15. It's going to be very interesting to see what these guys do. DRS has not been disabled yet, but boy oh boy, it could change in a matter of laps. Jack's in, and I think they're going to be all in.
Yeah, for a brief moment, I looked down in the first sector. Crispy was faster than the leader. Yeah,
Vizzy stayed out, and well, yeah, that's probably a mistake by Vizzy. Perondi stayed out, and yeah, they're all in. If Jack didn't pit, that would have been a very interesting to see what they all did, but you just look at the conditions. But this lap by, it's going to change completely. And yeah, as you said, Crispy was absolutely doing some good lap times here at the moment, but of course he's down to P15. He's going to see if he can gain a couple of decisions with anybody, but I don't think he will be able to. Look at them all coming out of the pit lane. So Jack will be the one first on the intermediate tyres. Then it's Bailey, then it's Hoop. Chandler's behind Moo and Alphanesis. So he's lost a couple of positions here at the moment, and Roscoe trying to see what he can do. So it's all happening. As by the way, DRS is still enabled as Alphanesis looks for the move here on Skipper and gets it done.
He got held up by his teammate Chandler, so that's really going to be something that once again is not going to be happy between the two Mercs. It's 2 weeks in a row. Obviously, Jack didn't mean any malicious intent by this. He was just simply pitting as well.
Well, that's the story of being the alternate different strategies. I'm telling you what, that could come back to hurt Chandler in this championship, but still, there's a long way to go. Lap 13 or 22 here in this Grand Prix. And the top 4, they will be in this lap, no doubt about it. And actually, it hasn't really gotten worse. Well, it's starting to get worse now, especially with DRS now being disabled. Wexero with a time penalty. He's in P4 here at the moment. Vizzy and Perondi. Vizzy probably not the right call for these guys, and they'll come into the lane and go on the intermediate tyres. So, Wexero's around. Jack has just missed him. Is that going to be a safety car? And that will help out those runners. It is. That's going to help those runners out not to be further back. And Vizzy is in. Ferrari has stayed out. Still, as Vizzy and Perondi come into the lane, intermediate tyres on, and we have our second safety car of the night.
Perondi, that's a mistake from the Alpha Tauri pit crew. He must have tried to go and put intermediates on, but they put slicks on. And the classic quote, they put dries on.
Well, to be fair, yes, they have put dries on there, unless Perondi has got something different on his screen in his country right now, which you never know with this game. Wow, so, yeah, Perondi and Ferrari, of course, has stayed out. Interesting call. Because, well, he has gone past the safety car as well. The safety car didn't come out in time to pick him up.
What is happening here?
And what is actually going on here at the moment?
Perondi and Moo are racing like it's bumper cars. Surprisingly, I've not seen either of them get damaged. Moo now bumps him out of the way. I'm really confused what's going on here. It's a safety car, guys. You can't overtake.
Well, Moo should really be trying to... Moo should really be trying to pass anyway, because he's not going to lose time either way. Doesn't need to worry. He's just got to wait until Perondi comes back into the pit lane. So, wow, this is a interesting one here at the moment. And yeah, I agree with some of the chat. We should see Ferrari into the pit lane. If he doesn't come into the pit lane this lap, I will eat my left shoe. The good. yes, Phantom, yes. So, we come up to lap 15 now. Jack will be the race leader, in which, wow, this is looking a good performance here from the other side of the Mercedes camp as Ferrari Nut comes into the lane. Hold on to it, Ferrari Nut. And he will come in onto those intermediate tyres, I'd assume. And will take away from the lead. So Jack now leads. And Bailey with a P2. Bailey doing not too bad as of late. Up in P2 at the moment. Hoop in P3. And our championship leader is going to be down in P10. And I wonder if on Perone's screen he's got something different.
That's what I'm thinking, because I honestly think Perone's not the
unless
he's not stupid.
Unless it's a, I forget which game it was, either 2019 or 2020 or even 2018. Oh my god, it could be even longer. He could have intermediate tyres on anyway, but the game's just been... Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
Now, hold on a second. He did leave the session, so at one point, don't forget.
Right.
So it could also be a story of that. But he was struggling quite a bit as well, so I don't know. I don't know. It's a mystery. It's a mystery on what could go down here at the moment. But my goodness me. Yes.
Oh, I was a little concerned for a second. I guess I blinked whenever I saw Ferrari come out of it. Never mind. But regardless, what could happen? I mean, remember if you recall back to a season ago, to those who have watched that stream, we had an interesting French Grand Prix in Realistic where there was 6 different screens basically happening. We had one driver who met God, that being Axe in 13th. He saw nothing but a flashbang on a screen, basically. We had a couple of drivers have completely dry circuits, but they had to go on wets because it was obviously, not dry on everyone else's screen. And you had the other side of the garage where it was completely wet, but the wets weren't working. It could have been something like that here for Perandi, like you just pointed out a couple seconds ago. And if that's the case, do you think he's possibly desync to a couple of other drivers? Because, I mean, Mumu isn't going to, willingly drive into Ferrari Nut. Or, I'm sorry, to Perandi. Well, also Ferrari Nut, but you know what I mean. So, I think he could have also been a little desynced on Mumu's side, too. If that's the case, I don't know. It's a lot of hypothetical situations, but, none of them make sense right now.
No, they don't. Aiden has not got up to the pack, so we're going to go another lap, which means we're going to have about 6 to go as Vizzy comes into the lane. Interestingly, does Vizzy have damage on one of them? Moves into the lane as well. Let's see what these guys do here at the moment. Is it soft tyres on?
Interesting.
Okay, well, I'm very complex here at the moment. I have no idea what's going on. As a commentator, I have no idea. Well, that's just thrown a cat amongst the pigeons. That Vizzy now, an actual, it is still raining out on track. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. As we see, they almost spun going up hill there. That was, I don't know. I don't know, Katra. I don't know. I literally don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm a little confused here too, because I mean it's still raining. It's not like it has stopped all of a sudden.
No.
So, is it a situation where there's now multiple screens where it's dry? Oh, this will be fun.
Well, this will be interesting. Well, the one to look out for is Perondi, and see what goes down on his screen here at the moment. Well, folks, if you haven't found a reason why to stay in here, you found it, because this is going to be an interesting restart here. Lap 17 or 22 it will be. with guys on. Yeah, it starts saying Perotti going to win. Well, he could. Well, we'll keep an eye on Perotti and see what goes down with his car. If he's got a massive amount of grip out of nowhere, we'll wait and see. As we got lap 16 of 22, Vizzy and Mumu have caught up to the pack. Wow, I don't know. This could be. It's this could turn into the strangest Grand Prix ever in a matter of seconds. But we'll wait and see. Jack at the front will look to get this win, and that'd be an incredible win here at the moment. Thrown up Fimi right now. I don't think he would be. He's in P8. He'll be happy with those points. Hoot P3, Chandler down in P9. A restart about to get underway now in wet conditions. Some drivers on Solstick. They could be on different screens. We'll have to wait and see what goes on here. Jack's in. They're all in. And actually,
what?
The rain has stopped. Raining. It has stopped raining. The rain has stopped raining. Hooper's stayed out. Perotti could win this. Oh my goodness. I was going to say, not too long ago by the way, I was going to say that it looked like it was stopped raining, but it was still lightly drizzling. But it has stopped raining.
Yeah, I honestly, at this point, I have no idea what's going on because, well, it's a large racetrack.
Meanwhile,
so theoretically, you would think,
Chandler
what's
looking
going
for the
on
move here on Ferrari. Chandler goes up to P4. And yeah, I know, Beneko, if I was allowed to, I would say those words right now. Perotti could get a win here. His first win in BRL for quite some time. As he's going to look for the move here on Skiffer. The two title contenders have stayed out, by the way. So that's going to be interesting how the championship unravels with all that. As Perotti could march towards. This could be a very interesting podium here at the moment. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out on lap 17.22. Axe with a time penalty. But wow, this is one of the strangest things I've ever seen.
It looks like really, really dry right now. That's going to be horrible for Hoop because now he's just a sitting duck. He has nothing to defend against Perotti.
Yeah, Perotti. Wow, who'd have thunk it? It's going to, unless he does a bottle or a safety car, this is going to be a Perotti win. But they still go side by side. Perotti's not going to take the chance because he knows that Hoop's probably going to be in this lap anyway. As meanwhile behind, Ferrari nuts gone around.
I had a feeling that would happen. He just kind of kept it there because obviously he still was alongside enough, but there's not enough grip to take it side by side.
Perotti looks for the move. Skiffer, Chandler, Aiden are in as Perotti goes for the move. Is Hoop just going to try to stay out and hope that maybe the rain comes back, or hope that he still gets a decent amount of points out of all this and doesn't lose too much time? We'll have to wait and see. But right now, it looks like it could be a Perotti Mumu Vizzy podium. Depending on penalties, of course.
Crucially, at this moment, Skither and Chandler won't get points.
They won't get points. No. We'll keep an eye on Kevin here, see if he goes for the midfield. Alphanesis, no, he does not. It's bone dry. Oh my god, it's absolutely dry here at the moment. Look at the points. Look at the points. Sanchez right now, of course, out of the race. He would have liked to get some points. Kevin will get some points here possibly as Hoop now loses positions to Mumu. Hoop. Hoop's in trouble. Hoop's in trouble. He's going to be absolutely... Oh my god, Vizzy, that was so
almost
close.
Never going to work.
That was never going to work. And Hoop, he may have to wave the white flag here at the moment. Here's some others that could get some points back here right now. Bailey P6, he could get some points back in the championship as well. So, man, Drixane Chair mad. Oh, I'd love to see how mad he is right now. It's an unusual race here at the moment as well, that's probably a sign of it right there of how our championship leader is feeling right now with that time penalty. Yes, what?
Okay, well, Hoop is currently rally driving. I believe he was doing that to get out of the way of Jack, and there you go. There's your confirmation. Oh, this is not going to go well. Hoop has to stay out because he was around the outside with Bailey.
Jack gets the fast lap of the race. Wow. Well, Jack could still sneak up on the podium here, so could Bailey, depending if they could get some time. Hoop's just going to lose position after position, really. That's, wow, unbelievable, folks. It's, I'd love to know what Jeff would have said to them. I would love to know what they said, Jeff would have said. Because on our screens, as now Roscoe gets a time penalty, Kevin looks for the move here on Alpha This is for P6. The screens that they got was that the rain was going to come 30 minutes in and still keep going, and it's just stopped. So unless this game has brought a time multiplier out of nowhere, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. So we apologise that we were confused because we didn't even know ourselves. Axe goes for the move on Hoop. Obviously, Hoop's going to be outside the points at the end of this next sentence. Crispy now goes over to P11, and Roscoe could... Oh, no! Oh, my goodness me, what's going on there? Raptor is up into P10. Wow! Absolutely going on here at the moment. As Potato say in the chat, that Chandler obviously is not in a happy mood right now. As now Skipper looks for the move. Chandler! Oh! We might have to look an eye on Chandler and see what goes down for him here at the moment. Meanwhile, looks like Raptor's gone around. Here comes Vizzy, though. He's closing on Moo Moo here at the moment. Could be for a podium spot, but the Jack and Bailey behind are closing on these two by the seconds, really, at the moment. They're absolutely closing on them. Bailey with the fastest lap of the race here. And he's in P5. He could stick maybe a podium, but it depends. But all we know now, right now, is Peronti's going to win this race unless a mistake happens for him. Here comes Vizzy. DRS looks for the move on Moo Moo. He's going to get it done. Vizzy goes up into P2 in this Grand Prix. And there's the penalties
Right now, the penalties are going to play the tail. If Jack and Bailey can find a way to not fight each other hard, but still close up to the back of Moo Moo and Vizzy, at least one of them, maybe even both of them, can grab a podium here. Because Jack is now within the penalty of Moo Moo.
Meanwhile, Skipper's got through on Roscoe. Chandler's gone for a Roscoe. Crispy up ahead at 6 seconds. These two, oh my goodness me, it's unbelievable. Skipper right now is ahead of Chandler, and that's what he wants to be in the championship. He wants to be ahead of Chandler, get a couple of points on Chandler in the title fight. That would be absolutely unbelievable. Jack and Bailey, they're absolutely catching. It's 2.3, and why are you saying R again?
Perotti is slow here. Like, really
What's
slow.
happened?
He has lost an incredible amount of time.
Happened.
What is wrong with the AlphaTauri?
Something's happened to the AlphaTauri. I said the only way Perotti could lose this race if a mistake. We could, if Jack and Bailey catch up in time, we could maybe see a 5-way battle for the end of this race for the last lap. We'll have to wait and see, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It's going to be a 3-way fight for the lead. And that's what Jack and Bailey want if they want to get onto this podium. 2 to go. Let's watch this battle for the lead, but let's just go to Chandler here and Skipper. Oh, Skipper has a big moment. This is an absolute dogfight between those two here at the moment. This is important for the championship, and it might stay steady for now. We'll come back to those two in a bit because this is the battle. Vizzy and Perotti for the lead. Don't forget Vizzy has a time penalty. Does Vizzy look for the move? He absolutely will. Perotti doesn't need to go too crazy with this right now. He doesn't have a penalty. Vizzy goes to the lead right now. Meanwhile, Aphonesis and Kevin go at it for position, but here comes Chandler. Aiden's coming to the pit lane, but here comes Chandler for the move. This is important for the championship. Oh, there's a bit of contact. It almost ended badly. It was almost reminiscent of Britain, but Chandler holds on. He gets the move done. It will be for P9. Skipper will still get some points, but my goodness me. Back up to the front. It is still Vizzy holding on. Moo Moo's not at the back of those two at the moment. But wow, Vizzy, where he wants to be. He wants to be at the front to try to push away from Jack and Bailey to still get onto that podium.
I think it's looking incredibly more difficult for Jack and Bailey to get both on the podium. I think Jack right now will be, unless something happens, on the podium. But Bailey still has a chance. He has DRS.
It's
and
raining
there you
again.
go.
It's raining again. So this game is just... I told you this game with the weather is... This is one of the weirdest games for weather in Codemasters history. Boy, this last lap could be interesting if it absolute teams down. 1 to go. Oh, it is absolutely on. Hoop is down in last. Those instances are not going to help him out to get in the points unless it's just carnage on the last lap. Chandler with the fastest lap of the race. That 1 point can help him out hugely in the championship and later on. But right now, it's looking like a Perotti victory. Mover's going to try to challenge him, but it's not going to be enough. Does Perotti look for a move? Bailey looks to the move on Jack. Gets it done. That could be for a P3 in this race, as Perotti does not have enough to go for the move. Mover's trying to see if he can sneak up here at the moment. But Bailey's up into 4th, which could very well be 3rd in this Grand Prix. Kevin Alphanese says an AlphaTauri in the wall. It's Axe. And that is another position for the championship rolls, which, by the way, Skipper is back ahead of Chandler. So that's going to make things even more interesting in the title fight. Unbelievable. But Perotti right now looks like he is going to... Which we thought was on a different screen. No, maybe Jeff told him a smart IQ play, and that could have just helped him in this race. Vizzy right now, he's P1 on track, but it's not going to be a win. It's looking like it's going to be a second, depending, because look at Bailey has called back into this. We'll have to wait and see towards the end of this race. Yeah, it's close. It's close to the line. It will be, but right now Vizzy will win on track. But for Perotti, it feels like years ago since Perotti won a race in BRL, and he's going to win it. BRL Perotti will win. He will win. He will win. Due to him leaving the lobby, so he will be P1, and then I think it'll be Bailey.
Vizzy Bailey. Vizzy by 2, almost 3/10.
So Perotti, Vizzy, Bailey. Is that right? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So there we go. Perotti will win the Grand Prix. Nice timing glitch, by the way, everybody. And Skipper does get ahead of Chandler. Unbelievable. Mr. VSR into the points. What a finish.
Yeah, that was honestly one of the most chaotic races I have seen purely by weather standards. Just rain coming down, nothing. Dry, then rain again. Incredible.
Unbelievable. And what else can you say? Hoop is doing some stuff in what was a chaotic race here in this one. My goodness me. But wow, what else can you say? What a unpredictable race that was. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Wow. I mean, we're both speechless, and we were here the entire way, but... So, it's going to be Perotti back again. That's something that he's been waiting for. He got a podium a couple weeks ago for the first one. First time in a couple seasons. Now, a couple races later, he grabs the win. What a comeback. I do say so myself.
What a race. What a race that was. And Wex Rose League Racing is 50% luck. Absolutely. In an incredible race. I won't invite Perotti. So... Oh, I'm sorry, Bailey. I realise... Yep, I'm an idiot. There we go. There we go. There's the results. Perotti should be P1. And there'll be Vizzy Bailey due to Perotti leaving the session. Disconnecting. So it'll be Perotti, Vizzy, Bailey, Jack. Moving with the top 5 as well. Skipper getting ahead of Chandler, but Chandler getting the fast lap point as well. So Skipper gets only 1 point on Chandler in the championship. Unbelievable. unbelievable. So we will await, possibly maybe Bailey. We'll wait and see. And wow, it was an interesting one. And I'm surprised it's not even. Well, Chandler, I'm surprised you didn't even have it on perfect setting. Anyway, there's a lot of discussion in the Discord right now about the weather setting, which, yeah, weather setting can make things a bit interesting in this game. F1 Esports, by the way, thanks for the follow. By the way, and I will invite Bailey once again. Bailey, come on now. I'll include my audio for Vizzy stream. And we'll just wait on Bailey really for peak 3. Because, as I know, I won't invite Prodigy, even though the great Rick James once upon a time tried to get Prodigy to speak language, but I'm not Rick. So, also, Hoop outside the top 10, of course, he stayed out those intermediate sides, didn't really work out for him. Aiden, Axe, and you got Wexford Sanchez out early in the Grand Prix, same with third. Wow. Well, Catra, I'll let you start things off before Bailey eventually comes in.
Oh no. Never mind. I scared myself. I forgot you're on PC. Eventually we'll get here.
Don't mind me, I'm just yelling at Bailey. It's on stream right now that I'm inviting him. It's literally on stream. This is an unusual party. The podium interviews here at the moment. We're just... Oh, open party. Alright. God. You PC plebs annoy me. Wow. So, Bailey, the party's open. Come on out.
Yeah, you know what? This is why. You know what? Okay, well, petition for Bailey to not get a podium again because you can't follow simple directions. That's a joke.
Bailey's just invited me to a party. I'm not going to a party. Oh my
Finally,
god!
Finally, he gets here. Jesus Christ!
Hey, my bad. I didn't see you.
Yeah, you can't follow
This is
simple
why
directions.
possibly next season we're just going to Discord full interviews. Okay?
I honestly,
Well, yeah,
I'm surprised
'cause
you
it's-
haven't done that already.
Well, it's probably
It's
gonna.
also PC.
Well, it's probably gonna happen since if what's
Oh my
my
god,
name?
hi Vizzy.
If it comes in time, the what's my name? I will be streaming from PC. I'm doing it on PC.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, Catra, kick things off. Get it underway.
All right, he's finally here, so I can finally do my
bad.
job. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Bailey, P3 then.
Ah.
Had a timing glitch, obviously, but you know you had that chance to grab Vizzy. But regardless, it's a podium. Did you honestly think that was gonna happen with how crazy that race was? Walk us through it.
Not gonna lie, no. With how far back I was starting, I initially planned to do double soft because based on what the weather was telling us, it was exactly like tier 2 in season 6, and from what we learned from then, double soft was pretty nice and pretty good. So I planned to do that, but then it crashed. That wasn't ideal. So I started on mediums, like P9, P8, oh no, I forgot. Somewhere there. I almost gave myself damage at one point, because I'm bad. And then the rain came. That didn't really matter. But then Mumu came up with the idea, or not the idea, with the relation to PSGL, last season, for their Belgian race, where despite having, like a fully wet track, the drives are like still better. And that's like kind of exactly what happened. So yeah, that's how I got up my positions and how, Vizzy and Prondy won, or Vizzy and Prondy were up there too. But yeah, I find it as a good finish.
Well, now that helps out a little bit with your championship because once again it's not an 8th place. I guess you never want to get there. Well, regardless, you have. Oh God, I don't want to say this. You have the Netherlands next week. What do you think about the Dutch Grand Prix?
God.
I'm not racing next week.
Oh, thank God. Can you please take me with you? I don't want to be here.
I got you, bro. Come to California. We have a party going on here.
All right, well, I'll take that bet. Well, regardless, congratulations on your P3 on a very, very, very weather chaotic and weather affected Grand Prix here in Belgium.
Thank you.
To P2 then. Busy. Congratulations once more on a podium this season. This time, it's here at Belgium. What do you think about it? What happened to that race for you?
Well, what's up, guys? I think it was kind of difference between that podium and the Portugal podium, because there was kind of like my pace, and today was kind of like my pure luck. Yeah, it paid off with a 5-head strategy from Peroni, because I was gonna chat with him, and he told me, I will stop for sticks. I won't stop to put the intermediate. So I waited for another lap to see what was going on, and the safety car stay out. So I went to the softs because, well, nothing to lose, you know. So yeah, it paid a lot. So yeah, when you don't expect a podium in such a legendary track as Spa, such a hard track, I'm really happy. And of course, congratulations to Bailey on P3.
Oh.
Bailey is now speechless and blushing. But
Yo, my bad.
Well, it was a very, very chaotic race, and well, as you say, a little bit of luck never really hurts anyone. Well, now you have a week from now at the Netherlands. How do you think you'll play for there?
I think I play much better than Spa because I have a good qualifying pace, and I hope a good race pace. I hope so. And I like Netherlands as well. It's such a hard track to overtake, so qualifying is really important there. And yeah, I'm really excited to the next one because this one was incredible. Like, didn't expect that.
Well, Fizzy.
Well, then.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, well, fine. Well, then, congratulations once again on your P2 and the second podium of the season. Now, Mitchie, God, rude.
Well, congrats Fizzy on P2 and Bailey P3.
Thanks.
Shout out to Brony as well. The legend returning, winning for the first time BRL in like 500 years.
God.
But basically, I'd love to look back on that set when the last time Peroni won in BRL. Well, folks, we're done here. Dusted on another week at Belgium. We go to the Netherlands next week, and what could be an anything weekend, as we all know. Join us tomorrow. We're at Monza for ACC. It's going to be a monsoon there tomorrow. Join me, myself, and I for that one. And folks, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week for the Dutch Grand Prix. Goodbye.